there is no wrong way. Whatever you decide to do is the right way, and a good teacher is going to follow the lead of the people in the group, is going to be sensitive to how people are feeling and what they're feeling like doing on a particular day. Humour to activate areas of the brain known to be available. Those of you who were here for Kate Stevens' initial presentation will know the value of engaging all of those things. These parts of the brain are still fine, they still work, movement's fine. And in fact, movement is a way to enable people to communicate when sometimes they can't communicate in other ways. With movement, they can let us know lots of things about themselves and let go of some of those feelings that can otherwise bottle up. Opportunities for people to communicate those emotions and feelings. As Greta says, one of the loveliest outcomes is to change the attitude of people who've had this attitude that people with dementia are just, I've heard, it's always made me very angry in my work to hear people talk about dementias. He's a dementia, she's a dementia, the dementias are doing this sort of thing. It's incredible that that's what happens. You do not hear them talking about he's a kidney, she's a lung, and the livers are going on bus trip. But I hear that in relation to people with dementia all the time. And because for 25 years it's been my privilege to meet people with dementia and to know just what wonderful people they are and how fortunate we are to be able to know people and get to know things about them where they're honest. We don't have these sort of false attitudes and things that people can put on in other areas of life. What you see is what you get. Is that right, Susie? Exactly. Maintain your brain. You can do things about it. Activate the motor and sensory areas because they're still there, they're still available. You can see here, this is a simple device just with ribbons, but because the music's playing and the ribbon is moving, the person can be more in the moment. Through neuroimaging, we have definite evidence of a growth in the hippocampus, which is the area of the brain critical for working memory. And working memory is how we store things. Working memory is how we take things into our brain, process them, and then send them off to long-term storage. It's how our memories are made. So anything in that area, we had sort of normal aging forgetfulness was quite common. People talked about it all the time. A lot of people with it are misdiagnosed as having dementia. I look for the day that we don't ever have something called normal aging forgetfulness anymore because people are aware of what you can do. The brain makes 5,000 new cells a day until the day you die, whether you're living with dementia or not. So to say there's nothing you can do about dementia is plainly ridiculous. There's a great deal you can do. The hippocampus makes more than it uses, and excessive stress can cause a loss of brain cells. And I must say I've experienced that in the last couple of days. Where my brain is just forget it. You're in sensory overload, don't even try and work that out. Cortisol acts like a mild poison. These are the substances, when we engage in dance classes, it's very energetic, and in that process serotonin, which makes people feel good and has no side effects, unlike the awful drugs that people are routinely prescribed. Susie was prescribed antipsychotics. Have you ever heard anything more ridiculous? And that would have done her damage. That would have made her deteriorate. That would have made her fulfil the pattern of deterioration that they're predicting. Dopamine, the learning, the reward, the attention, the movement, the motivation. The motivation to get out and do things is very much a part of what we have provided in Come Dance With Me. Norepinephrine increases alertness, concentration and energy. Now you cannot hold on to things, you cannot pay attention, you cannot focus if you are not able to have that level of alertness. And that level of alertness is very important to people's physical safety as well, as I found when I came rushing out of the theatre in where was I? Erica Rose, L Block, yeah, to get here on time for this, and went flat on the face. Synaptogenesis, thousands of potential connections. So we might have a loss of cells. Yes, there is a loss of cells. Yes, there is a shrinkage in the brain. Certainly there is. But we are born with 100 billion neurons, and one of them can make 10,000 connections. One of 100 billion. So there's plenty of neurons, and we're making more neurons. The question is, are they connecting to other neurons? Because until they do, they are not any use to us. And the sorts of activities we do at Come Dance With Me causes this increase in connections, causes them to join together. So sustain creative challenges, positively contribute to maintaining mental function and supporting the brain reserve hypothesis. The mind grows stronger from use and challenge just in the same way as muscles do. Music and movement, the rhythm is there. Once again, referring to what Kate had to say this morning. And once people pick up on that and they start to move in an environment where there's no wrong way, where they know everything they do will be celebrated, where they're amongst friends, where the group is made up of very individual people who join together and support each other. So, circle dance is very valuable because people are in a circle which is like a community. They're moving together, and that holding and touching and being together we found is really valuable. So dance enhances these particular things: visuospatial memory, which would have been a good thing if I'd seen that step coming out of the theatre; procedural memory, the patterns that are there, and we don't lose them. People don't lose them, and they can make new ones when they are living with dementia. Short-term memory, mobility and balance, and balanced sensory experience and emotions. So, reduces doctor visits, medication usage, depression, anxiety, incidence of falls, and significantly reduces the risk factors leading to long-term care. High on the list, because long-term care usually is a negative experience for people. Positive results, the enhanced sense of mastery, of being in control. Now, how valuable is it to you to be in control of your life? To know that you are controlling what's happening to you, that somebody else is not going to say that they've got the responsibility for you and what happens to you, that your dignity is in their hands. That sense of mastery. Social engagement, communication, significant improvements in self-esteem and functioning improvements. And as you can see, the joy of it, and we'll see more on video. So we have a burst of video for you so you can see people actually engaging in this particular event. These are just some of the things that people have had to say about some of the things that we do. I like the last one. It's all about playing with no rules, there's no wrong way, just enjoy. That feathered friend of failure just flew away. Adapt, go on and live. It's not the end of the world. Now, with all the negative stuff about dementia, hearing these kinds of statements from the people who are actually living with it, let's sort of just say this is the life that they have. And the more positive they're able to be about that life, the better. And if we can take that positivity and share it rather than all the negative things that seem to be gather around the word dementia.